Let's go to New York. Let's join Darren McCaffrey, our political editor, who's there. There's a big get-together at the United Nations. It is our Prime Minister's first foreign trip. Darren, I understand that the trade deal with the United States of America, something that I, of course, championed when Trump was in office, and I've been very sceptical could ever happen with Biden in the White House. I understand Liz Truss has now given up on the idea in the short term of a trade deal with the USA.
Yes, she effectively has. Overnight on the plane from London to New York, Nigel, she essentially said that, you know what, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Clearly the circumstances are not right. As you say, President Biden has got, frankly, other things on his agenda, and also has stated, quite frankly, hasn't he, that he's not terribly happy with the Northern Ireland Protocol and some of the noises coming from Westminster when it comes to Brexit. Let's be very clear about this, though. We've known this for quite a long time, haven't we, Nigel, that practically ever since Donald Trump left the White House that any trade deal was looking pretty unlikely. And these things can be pretty complex. But is this a significant blow? You bet it is. You know, Liz Truss is a former international trade minister. She has managed to sign actually quite a few trade deals, but this was the really golden opportunity, and it has somewhat slipped out of the UK's hands, at least, as you say, in the short term. US is the world's largest economy, so there will be political ramifications, I think, around this. In saying that, she is due to have talks with President Biden here at the United Nations tomorrow. It was meant to be held, of course, in Downing Street on Sunday until it got cancelled. And it is important to step back and think for a second what an extraordinary couple of weeks this has been for Liz Truss. I mean, it's 2 weeks today since she became Prime Minister. Clearly, the nation, the government has been focused on the national period of mourning, but politics is very much back in frame now, Nigel, as usual. She had a meeting with Emmanuel Macron, the French president, earlier on today. She's also meeting with the German Chancellor, with a whole range of European leaders, including Ursula von der Leyen of the EU Commission, in the next couple of hours. But it is interesting that here the focus is on Ukraine and security. We're all awaiting tonight to find out what President Putin is going to say. He's due to address the Russian people. That will be interesting to see what the response will be here from the United Nations, from the world leaders that have gathered. But what I find interesting is that all the questions the Prime Minister was having to ask today was what's happening at home domestically, because we've not been really given a chance to question the Prime Minister in the last couple of weeks. We know about that energy policy to try and ease people's bills, but there's going to be a big fiscal announcement on Friday as Parliament reconvenes, expecting big tax cuts. And Liz Truss today suggesting that she's going to do things that she thinks are going to be initially unpopular with the public. For example, lifting that bankers' bonuses cap in the City of London. But her argument is that even if it's unpopular with voters in the short term, it's what is necessary to try and get Britain back on a strong growth when it comes to the economy. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out politically in the days and weeks ahead. But the pressure is now back on Liz Truss, not just here in New York on the world stage when she addresses world leaders tomorrow night, but when she returns back to London and those difficult decisions have to be announced and the public get to react to what they think about them all.